make the next half of the Martells. Let's hope I can do it in faster than an hour this time. I'm also watching Sims challenges on YouTube, so you might hear those in the background. All right, let's get into it.
So I had already created the first Martell, so now I need to create the sand snakes that go with Oberyn Martell. The sand snakes are the collective name for all of his daughters. The first four he has with various women, and the last four he has with his paramour, Ilaria Sand. So all of his daughters have the last name Sand because that is the last name given in Game of Thrones for children who do not come from a marriage. So since I cannot make 8 additional Sims on top of making Oberyn Martell and Ilaria Sand, I decided to just do 3 and 3. I started with Obara and Tyene because they are mentioned quite a lot in the books. They are friends with Arienne Martell, who is Doran's daughter. She gets her own point of view in the books. So I started with them. Unfortunately, they're teens, so I'm going to have a little birthday party because you can't make children of someone a young adult. I suppose after I created it, I could have just changed their age before I saved it, but hindsight is 2020. So Obara is a little bit more, she's like the leader of the Sand Snakes. So she wears, men's trousers and lots of brown. And then Tyene is the daughter of a septa. And this is when I needed to explain to George R. R. Martin how genetics work, because she's fair-skinned and has light hair and eyes. And I mean, I guess if somewhere in his history, Oberyn Martell has those recessive genetics, that is very possible. So that's why I went with the hair choice for Tyene that I did. She has lots of silks and creams and greens. So that is what I went with her. So she's not as she is portrayed on the TV show. She's a little bit more gentle, although all of the sand snakes are rough and tumble. She is the best friend of Arienne Martell. I spelled her name wrong. I then decided to go with Nymeria Sand because Nymeria, they are all descendants of Nymeria, the Dornish people, or the Martells anyway. So I thought that was a nice ode to what is part of their technical last name. And then it came to me that I should just do the first 3 from each set instead of trying to pick and choose which daughters I chose to create. She has a long black braid and dark eyes. She had fairer skin. She's the daughter of someone from Pentos, somebody important from Pentos. I just think it's so wonderful that though he has children from so many places, he has kept them with him. He's like, no, these are mine. You can't go be with your fancy mom in Pentos. You're coming with me. It just speaks to the nature of the Dornish people and how they really just don't go with your typical societal rules. That was me going back and adding a tunic to Obara because it had said that she wears a knee-length tunic. And as I was playing with outfits, I discovered a tunic. And because I just had avoided full body thinking it was all dresses, but I was wrong. So then I needed to make Ilaria Sand. And she is the paramour of Oberyn Martell. So she's now more of a permanent fixture. They have, I think it said 5 daughters together, but that makes more than 8 because he does have a fourth daughter. Or maybe he's got 5 daughters with various women and then 3 daughters. I'll have to go back and check the math. Anyways, this is Ilaria. This is his chosen paramour. They're not married, but this is his life mate, if you will. She's in the show, and she goes with him everywhere. The sand snakes in the show call her mother, even though she's not. The mother to all of them. But that could be a tribute to how close that they have all become. I decided that she just needs to be in red. Red is just her color. So then I'm creating their daughters together. Another fun thing of genetics where I need to explain to the Sims, like, how did this happen? And then sometimes the outfits that the Sims auto-create, like, why would you be wearing that cute dress with those green boots? There wasn't much information about the daughters of Ilaria and Oberon. They didn't really have a lot of character description. So I was just kind of going based on pictures and their rank within the Sand Snakes. They all refer to themselves as the Sand Snakes. It's an ode to their father's nickname, which is the Red Viper of Dorne. So they're all the Sand Snakes, right? Because their last name is Sand. So with these 3 sisters, I just kind of had a lot of fun playing with outfits that I thought might be pretty Dornish. And then I started to realize that I can take away some of the restraints of the clothing, like taking away hot weather so I can get the sandals I want. I could go back and fix all the other people, but when you've been creating Sims for an hour, that's not a thing that you necessarily want to do. So this was the most interesting creation because I'm always poo-pooing on how there isn't really anything that you can use to be, medieval for the children. But something about these outfits were really coming together to be Dornish. And I think it has to do with their unique climate and their unique style. So I had a lot of fun creating these last 2 children. And I didn't think I was going to. And as you can see me scrolling through the wiki just to get any sort of information. So the 3 children that I picked for Ilaria and Oberyn were the ones that are named after people. So we've got Obella. So that's kind of like a combo name for Oberyn and Ilaria. And then we have Elia, clearly named after his sister. And then this one's Doria, named after Doran, his brother. And I just had so much fun creating these little kids. And Doria is now my favorite. She was so cute. I loved all of the outfits that I made for her. And she just became my absolute fave. And then I checked all of the relationships to make sure that was great. I have uploaded it to the gallery. They're called Red Viper and Sand Snakes. I had to do some editing of the description of the Sand Snakes because there is a forbidden word in their description. It is the name of what you would call a child out of wedlock. But it is now popularly a bad name. So there we go. The Sand Snakes.
What I need to make. The water gardens and Sunspear. I'm going to start with Sunspear and then do the water gardens, even though I think it would be more fun to do it the other way around. All right. Thank you. See you next time. Sim Saturday.